Uh, नमस्कार. सो वंस अगेन बैक विद इंस्टाग्राम लाइव. और आज हमारे साथ में रहेंगे डिप्टी विचिवोरा, जो बात करेंगे सिग्नेचर एनालिसिस पे. तो मैं डिप्टी के बारे में थोड़ा बहुत बता देता हूँ. आज के जो हमारे स्पीकर रहेंगे, डिप्टी इज हेलिंग फ्रॉम मुंबई and she is into the signature and handwriting analysis, into the occult science, majorly into the handwriting and signature part, जहाँ पे वो लोगों को हेल्प करती है सिग्नेचर और हैंडराइटिंग पैटर्न में सुधार लाने के लिए, एंड हाउ टू रीडिजाइन द सिग्नेचर फॉर द ग्रोथ ऑफ द पर्सनालिटी, फॉर द ग्रोथ ऑफ द बिजनेस. तो उसके लिए हाई डिप्टी. सो आई एम जस्ट सेंडिंग यू रिक्वेस्ट. ठीक है, अगर आप ये हैंडराइटिंग स्पीक से आ रहे हो ना, तो फर्स्ट यू फॉलो मी फ्रॉम हैंडराइटिंग स्पीक. ठीक है, तो ही मैं आपको यहाँ से इन्वाइट दे पाऊंगा. एक मिनट मैं दे रहा हूँ आपको. तो आप आ जाओगे स्क्रीन पे. मैंने भेज दिया आपको. एक मिनट, एक्सेप्ट करो बेहतर. ये
I need.
फाइनली हाय. सो यार आधे घंटे से बोल बोल के गला बैठ गया था. 10 o'clock I've been speaking. ठीक है. सो thank you very much Dipti for accepting my request at a very extremely short notice. 5 मिनट में कोई स्पीकर तैयार नहीं होता, but I'm really thankful to you कि आपने आज मेरी लाज बचा दी.
That's
ठीक है,
what
वरना तो
thanks
ये
are for.
या तो अभी आप ही के बारे में मैं स्पीकर से मैंने पहला एक सेशन आधे घंटे का मैंने सेव नहीं किया उसको, क्योंकि अकेले क्या बात करता. तो आई वाज स्पीकिंग ऑन द सिग्नेचर पार्ट. तो लेट्स स्टार्ट. इट्स ऑलरेडी 32 मिनट्स लेट फ्रॉम माय साइड. तो मैं पहला क्वेश्चन दीप्ति आपसे यही पूछना चाहूंगा, जो मैं सबसे पूछता हूँ. स्टार्टिंग योर जर्नी फ्रॉम, आई थिंक फ्रॉम द what do we say, a plain graduate to coming to the journey of the handwriting analyst as a signature expert, how it started. क्या पहले से कोई प्री असाइन था कि मुझे हैंडराइटिंग एक्सपर्ट ही बनना है, या मुझे इसी फील्ड में जाना है, बचपन में सोच के रखा था, या कोई ऐसा इंसिडेंट बना था, या फिर अचानक से कुछ इवेंट हुआ एंड देन यू शिफ्टेड इनटू द हैंडराइटिंग साइंस? कि ये आपकी जो जर्नी है, आप ही की जुबानी में सुनना चाहूंगा. In whatever way you want to restructure your thoughts and give us your introduction.
Sure.
Dipti, over to you.
Thank you so much, Neerav. That's actually a great question to begin with, because my journey is very interesting. I did not become graduate first. I actually
क्या
became
बात करिए.
a handwriting analyst first. I started because
अच्छा,
I
okay.
was suffering with low confidence. I did not trust myself, had self-doubt, had self-hurting programs. So I was,
Okay.
always would blame myself, and I was basically screwed up. Whether it was my studies, whether it was my relationship, nothing went right. And that's when graphology came in my life. And just 1 year, my life changed 360 degrees. I became confident. I started loving myself. I had not very healthy relationship with my parents, not because they were not loving, but because of the distance that we stayed in, and we couldn't understand each other at that time. So as soon as I changed my signature, I started accepting my father's love. I could see that all the time he was always there. It was just I was blind to understanding that he is there to support me, but I could not see that. And that's the magic of signature analysis, that once you start, accepting what are the faults in yourself, you also see what are your strengths. And when you
Yes.
merge that in your signature, the life begins to change. So that's how it started, and it's been 17, 18 years since then. And I'm completely in love with this subject. And I also see that how people also evolve when they change their signature, their relationship become better, even their career become better. So that's the power.
Arey, that's great. That's great. Even I have experienced the same. So similar journey from my side also. But let's talk today about you and the signature, क्योंकि आपका सेशन है. ठीक है. तो ये पहली बात है कि अगर आपने बताया कि इस तरह से आपको पूरा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हुआ, 360 डिग्री ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम being a very introvert and shy and underconfident girl to a very confident and ambitious leader right now. तो आपने ये जो सिग्नेचर चेंज की, तो क्या किसी ने पहले उसको इंट्रोडक्शन कराया था आपसे सिग्नेचर के बारे में, या आपने ऑनलाइन पढ़ा था, या एग्जीबिशन में सर मिले थे? मतलब जो आपके मेंटर और मेरे जो मेंटर हैं, ठीक है, उनकी मैं बात कर रहा हूँ. So how you get connected with this lovely science signature?
I think one of our relative got their signatures analyzed, and then because I was screwed up, everyone in my family thought that this person needs some treatment, so they got me there, and I got my signature changed, and I was practicing it every day. But still, he would say that now look at this is the change that you would see, and I would say no, I don't see any change in me,
Uh,
and that's when he said that better you learn the science, and that's how it works.
mhm,
If a doctor would say that take this pill and you'll be fine, I wouldn't really become so better. But if I understand that what is it going on, if I understand how this is working with me, that's when the change begins. And I'm so thankful for my first mentor. I did my first course in 2006 with Milind Rajur. And
okay.
the way he taught, the way he explained the things, the way he made me realize that, there is a better side. How our parents are always there for us. And it's just that we are blind to seeing that. How nature is surrounded with all the abundant opportunities, but because we are so empty within us that we are not able to attract those things for us. And that's when this course actually helped me learn more about myself. I already had changed my signature, but then the mindset shift that came with the course. So that's how
Okay.
it begins.
Okay. Okay. And you also learn from the others mentors also, like our friends,
Yes,
our colleagues.
yes.
Yeah.
I keep on
About
learning.
yeah.
I almost did one graphology course almost every year. If it is not a course, I'm then reading a book. So when it comes to learning graphology, my favorite mentor is Andrea McNichol. I really love the way she teaches, the way she explains things with examples, and she also has this sense of humor that the way she presents her
Yeah.
analysis and the way she put it in the quiz, and that also I follow her methods a lot. So
Okay.
that is the first mentor I would say that is
Okay.
really worth learning from. The second mentor I
Okay.
will mention about is Naveen. Naveen has
Yeah.
given so much clarity when it comes to graphology. There were a lot of things. There were a lot of loopholes. Like you would know that okay, if your and let's say if your y is like this, let's say if it is y that has a bloated loop, then it means that the person is dissatisfied with material aspect.
Yeah.
But why is that?
Yeah.
What is it? What are the
Right.
strokes that we see in this? That all explanation came with Naveen. And after that, there was no stopping back. So these are two mentors I thank a lot. And of course, my first mentor, because he introduced me to this science. So he is also invaluable.
Yeah, definitely. I also own so lots of knowledge he has given to me also, friendship also, as a colleague also. तो वो नवीन को तो भाई हम भूल नहीं सकते, इसलिए मैं जानबूझ के ट्रिगर करके उसका नाम दोबारा मुझसे दिला कि he is really a gem person when it comes to the knowledge giving into the graphology part.
Absolutely.
So when we talk about graphology and especially the signature part, okay, why the signature is so important? Why we should वर्क ऑन अ सिग्नेचर? पहली बात तो लोगों को लगता है कि सर आज तो मैडम हम मोबाइल यूज करती है, उंगली है, क्या जरूरत है, सब डिजिटल सिग्नेचर है। ये क्वेश्चन आपको भी डिप्टी आया होगा और मुझे भी कई बार आता है कि सर क्या सिग्नेचर की प्रैक्टिस करने की जरूरत है? हम कौन से टाटा अंबानी है कि रोज के रोज चेक साइन करेंगे? ठीक है, कि हमको क्या जरूरी है? ठीक है। और दूसरा उनकी एक्टिविटी, अरे सर केवाईसी चेंज करना पड़ेगा, तो उनकी ये दूसरी एक्टिविटीज आ जाती है। ठीक है, तो आई विल अगेन रिफ्रेम दिस क्वेश्चन, why signature? Why signature analysis? Why there is a need to learn or to alter or redesign the signature? Why signature?
Correct. Again, a very good question, because in this age when people are not writing as much, they would have this question that why do we have to, handwrite, or why do we have to practice signature, and how does this is going to help us in any way? So basically, handwriting and signature analysis is just like any other tool. Once you decide that you want to change, you would want some tool to execute your change. Correct. And handwriting analysis is one of the easiest way to bring that change in you without too much of struggle or without spending too much of time. It is so easy because your fine motor skills or your hand movements are connected directly to your brain, and the neural pathways are developed so quickly with the new patterns that you practice, and that's how you're able to create the new habit patterns. And once you create new habit patterns and you start working on them, eventually they become stronger. And that's when the change starts coming in. So that is the magic. because of the neural pathways that are formed with the practice of handwriting and signatures. So the question is right that these days we write so less, and that's why we also see that we are so distant from our inner selves. Earlier days when we used to write, used to remember things so much. Now we are everything is on digital platform, and that is
Yeah.
also a reason we feel so empty within us. But once you start daily journaling, once you start practicing graphotherapy, you would see that how connected you would feel with your inner self, and how content you would feel. So that is magic.
Exactly.
And another thing is that you asked about signatures. Is signature is like a quick snapshot of personality. All the handwriting
True.
were taught to you in your school. So as such, you did not had a power that how you would want to form a particular letter. But signature is completely your own doodle. You decide how you would want to write. And that's why when you make your D or let's say Nirav ka N, all the way that you want to form, whether it is going left, right, cutting, going in the lower loop, creating a loop in the N, it is all your choice. So the
True.
way that you sign would tell us far more about you than anything else. Like it is about yourself, how you look at your family, your relationship, how you look at your career, whether you would fulfill your commitment, whether you would, cheat people, whether you would go back on your words, whether you would be friendly, whether you would use intellectual, what do you say, your intellectual powers, or whether you are more materialistic. All of that information is just found in that 4 or 5 letters or whatever is your signature. So it is so accurate that you can get a quick snapshot of anyone. Now, if I meet someone who is completely new to me and I just can get a glance on how this person is signing, I would know how to strike that communication with that person. And once I know that, I would have an edge because I would be able to create and build a relationship with that person in the way that I would want, because I know what are his strengths and weaknesses. That's why it is an invaluable resource for anybody who is in in a in a field where it requires a lot of human interactions. Correct? Do you agree with?
Correct, correct. I do agree. यार ग्राफोलॉजिस्ट agree नहीं करेगा तो कौन करेगा? देखिए, तो idea नहीं. And it's not about people say कि आप खुद करते हो, ये देखो ये मेरी खुद की है. मैं खुद भी जर्नलिंग करता हूँ. डेट वाइज सिग्नेचर्स भी हैं. ठीक है, जहाँ मुझे लगता है मैं खुद भी ये चीजों को इम्प्लीमेंट करता हूँ. आपने भी किया है. ठीक है, तो ये चीजें जरूर काम करती है. अब दूसरी लोगों में एक क्वेश्चन आती है क्योंकि ग्राफोलॉजी को स्पीरो साइंस कहीं न कहीं बताया गया है कि इट इज मोर लाइक अ स्पीरो साइंस. देयर इज नो एनी साइंटिफिक वैलिडेशन. So why we should consider the graphology science or signature science as the science rather than तुक्केबाजी. लोग उसको तुक्केबाजी में भी गिन लेते हैं स्पीरो साइंस. तो उस पर आपके क्या विचार है? What do you think about the graphology? Why people are considering him as a spiro science?
I think it is basically advertisement. So if you consider about Big Bang Theory, people have talked about Big Bang Theory so much that eventually you start believing that Big Bang Theory is the only way that our world started. But you don't know whether that is fact or not. And still people believe that Big Bang Theory is the only way that this world or this world came into existence. So basically, until and unless you don't have enough experience of how these things work, you wouldn't know. People can say anything. Like I would say that graphology works well. You would, some other person would say that it is a pseudoscience because they don't align with it, or maybe because it is a threat to their current career. So in whatever case people would say good or bad thing, the best thing is to get it and get it experienced. If you think that this works in your experience, you get your handwriting analyzed and you see that, okay, yeah, this one is accurate, learn about it a bit and try your hand, and you would know that whether it is a pseudoscience or not. So I believe more in experience than bringing, any theories to prove it. Of course, there are 100 ways to prove it, but my way would be to first-hand experience it. And it is not that it is going to take lifetime to experience it. It is just 5 minutes that you get your handwriting analyzed, or it is just 5 minutes that some trait you analyze in someone else and give them an analysis. And if they agree to it, then you are on the right track, isn't it? All right, I'm very sorry, but I'll have to leave now. But I would really like to take this conversation forward on my another account, which is Dipti Vichivora. And we can do it probably in the coming week whenever we can plan that. Would that work?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Thank you very much, Dipti, for giving your valuable time under a very short notice. So today the podcast will be very lesser also for the people. But thank you. We will plan once again for
The
making the proper
quantity
planning
doesn't
of the,
matter. If the quality
yeah,
is good and if you're able to apply it, then that's what
yeah,
brings the magic. Correct.
exactly. Yeah,
Thank you so
Vaishali,
much,
यही
Neerav, for
बोलिए.
inviting, and I'm
Yeah,
so glad for the questions that you asked, and I hope that these help the audience to decide whether signature analysis is right for them.
yeah. Already the comments are showing by Vaishali. It's a valuable insight.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Vaishali.
much, Dipti.
Thank you so
Right.
much,
मिलते हैं.
Neerav. Bye.
Bye.